27 different areas, and we can help them staff up accordingly to make it even more efficient for our members.
Interesting.
So it's a really unique process, and it's worked beautifully for 43 years.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Because it is nationwide, the next area of coverage is traffic-related issues. Sometimes we go across state lines, we get a moving violation, the trooper sees our out-of-state license and wants to give us a traffic ticket because we've got a highway revenue stamp on our forehead. Regardless of whether it's local or out-of-state, the member has representation in traffic court. What we do is we hire a local traffic specialist attorney in that jurisdiction and pay them their fee out of that big bucket load of money we send the provider from every month because it's a covered member matter, and they go to court on that member's behalf. I personally have used this area of coverage 8 times. I'm not proud of the fact that I've gotten 8 moving violations, but I've also been a member for 18 years, so when you say 18 years, it doesn't sound so bad when I say I've got 8 moving violations because it's a little less than 1 every other year, but all 8 times the law firm has hired that traffic specialist to go into the traffic jurisdiction that I got my ticket, and they fought that ticket successfully and won 6 out of 8 times. Now, we're not above the law. We're happy to pay our fines and fees. We don't fix tickets, but once again, we advocate on the member's behalf, and the traffic specialist knows a lot more about traffic law and that judge in that jurisdiction than you or I would. So they're successful many, many times in reducing cases. Like 6 out of 8 of mine were completely dismissed. No fines, no fees, no court costs, but most importantly, it didn't affect my insurance premium and my driving record.
How fast were you going, David, in one of those really bad tickets? 20 miles over, 30 miles over?
Probably the worst infraction was 22 over in a construction zone.
Oof.
But ironically enough, one of my tickets was true speed 5 over, and I thought, who in the heck writes a ticket for 5 over? And I quickly learned.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
In Chicago, they rolled out the red light or the speed cameras now around schools and parks, and they're just they're generating. Bonnie, you probably saw this in the news. They ran a kind of a test for the first 30 days, and there would have been 200,000 tickets issued if they totally launched it. So the mayor Emanuel came out and said, this is going to generate more revenue than we anticipated. So these are up in multiple locations, and people are getting killed with these things because it's like 20 miles an hour in those areas, and when you're around a park, you're not realizing as much as you are around a school area.
Yeah, I must say, Mitch, I was one of the people that actually received a warning letter. Now these cameras have been installed. You have been caught on camera. This is a warning that you have been caught on camera. We're not fining you, but we're warning you that these are out there and watch your speed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. So it just makes legal skill so much more needed in America. I mean, January 1st, 2014, over 40,000 new laws were enacted and went into force statewide and nationally across the country. 40,000 new laws, and I'm thinking, I haven't even had a chance to look at last year's 30,000 new laws. I mean, something you and I could have done 15 years ago that seemed completely logical could be completely illegal this year. We wouldn't know it. So it's nice to be able to pick up the telephone anytime we want without looking at our checkbook register and getting the answers that we need, especially when we're making, decisions moving forward in life. Yeah. You know, instead of making roll the dice decisions and hoping for the best, we can actually call the firm and say, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. So what should I consider? So that we don't make stupid moves. So traffic court-related issues, and something else that is really needs to be talked about. We don't talk about it enough in our presentations. Is the defense of criminal charges. You know, most auto insurance policyholders don't know that if they were charged with negligent homicide or vehicular manslaughter in a horrific accident, that they wouldn't be covered by their insurance. Yes, the civil side, saying that cars, hospital bills, and civil damages, but they wouldn't be represented for the criminal charge, and they'd be sunk without without access to legal counsel. And we picked up where personal lines leave off. We do cover that member for those types of criminal moving violations and accidents. As long as there's no drugs or alcohol involved and they're driving legally, license, registration, all that good stuff. We represent them, win, lose, or draw, to the end, no matter what the cost. It happened to a friend of mine who's a former state trooper. His youngest son got in a bad accident and killed 4 people. There was no malintent, there was no drugs or alcohol, but their legal bill was $73,000. And it would have wiped his family completely out. But because the son was covered by the dad's membership, Legal Shield paid 100% of the legal expense. We had one of the top criminal attorneys in the state represent the family. No cost, it was included. Wow. We also prepay for a bank of hours. I'm sorry, did you have a question, Mitch?
No, I didn't.
Okay. We also prepay for a bank of hours in the event that you're sued civilly. And these days you don't have to do anything wrong to get sued by somebody for something crazy, and you need to defend yourself. So we prepay in their first membership year. As soon as they enroll, they're automatically allotted 60 hours of prepaid trial defense time. And every year they're a member, it goes up by 60 hours. It increases. It's an allotment. It doesn't roll over a crew. So even if you use all 60 this year, you still have 120 in your second member year. That keeps going up for 5 years until you max out at 300 hours. That's all prepaid for.
Okay.
We also cover uncontested divorce, adoption, separation, annulment, and name change included in the membership. And if the IRS decides to take a closer look at one of your employees and audit them, we provide 50 hours of tax attorney representation, all prepaid for. Tax attorneys at $300 to $400 an hour, you got the first 50 covered for your employee. And for things that go above and beyond, which might include like pre-existing court cases or drug, alcohol, or criminal-related matters, we do provide our members with a 25% preferred member discount. Because, of course, we don't use Legal Shield as a reward for bad behavior for the habitual DUI person or, the guy that's got a bad temper. But they do get a 25% discount. And every attorney in every state has a standard hourly published rate with the state bar. Whatever that published rate is, our members get a true 25% off. So I look at it this way. If you're going to cut a check to a local attorney anyway because your back's against the wall, why not make it out for wholesale versus retail? Now, being a member 18 years, I've used this service in excess of 100 times, which is ironic because I had never used an attorney before I was a member. And it wasn't because life was so much easier before I was a member. It's actually easier now, but I've reconditioned myself the other way. I'm paying a monthly premium. Why not use it as frequently as I possibly can? Out of those 100-plus uses, I've only been out of pocket one time. Everything else was 100% covered by the plan, no extra cost. That one time, though, I knew that I needed representation, and I knew it wasn't a covered member matter. But I watched my legal, I went through the system rather than the yellow pages. And the reason I did that is because I wanted, I couldn't trust myself to make a good decision to hire the right attorney. And if I made a bad decision, I wanted somebody to yell at, right? I wanted somebody else to be accountable. So by having pre-screened, pre-qualified attorneys within the system, I went and selected one of the attorneys that they recommended, had a great experience, and the best experience was watching my legal bill go from $3,800 down to $1,480 because of my Legal Shield member discount. Even if I'd never used the service again for another decade, it hasn't paid for itself.